Concert Crew Podcast, we back again.
Yep.
Today,
You already know the vibes.
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, 25.
Niggas get down like what?
The 25th anniversary of DMX's sophomore album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, which was released on December 22nd, 1998, right before the end of the year. 25 years, man. We got my man T-Harp here. We got my man G-Dash in the building. Man, we're going to talk about this DMX. But first of all, fellas, man, where were you when DMX's sophomore album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, came out? You remember?
Ellesmere skating rink.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm just Ellesmere skating rink. No Love for Me.
Wow.
I was a heavy skater at Wilmington, and that's how this album penetrated my mind.
Wow.
Ain't no other Got Love for Me. We on our eights. We bopping it, rolling it, but it was solid. It gave the guys something else to do on. You know, we had Ellesmere back in the day when we were young, and all girls skate, all boys skate. That's what we got. Yeah.
X used to come on heavy, especially when this dropped. Yeah. Well, you know, of course, me, it was always high school. It's just something about this year, man. We had a hell of a year with music this year, man.
Absolutely. So it's a great year.
This was like sort of like ending it off, getting us ready for next year. You know what I'm saying? So, and the quick response after the first album is what really caught me, and I was like, damn, he came again. You know what I'm saying? And it's not bad. You feel me? So I didn't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? So around that time, man, I just know in high school, man, like when this joint came out, this was the next CD I had. You know what I'm saying? The red joint, the red face, and it fell into the rotation. I had a sick rotation at the time, and DMX, this joint really fell in it. But I think that video took it to another level too. And then you had some cameos in there. Jay-Z popped up in there at his part when he was talking about Hove. And
no, that's not this album though. You talking about What's My Name? That wasn't on here.
Oh, that wasn't on that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Nigga, and the Jigga came there. That was the next album.
Okay.
That song was hard though.
All of it.
But nah, I was a senior in high school when this album dropped, and man, DMX was killing it that year. First of all, he was killing it that year. So we like again, like yo, like you coming right back at him again. Like, yo, this is crazy. He was killing it, man. And what a year. What a year.
Did the tour start after this album or before this album? After this album, right?
Hard Knock Life Tour?
Yeah.
Hard Knock Life Tour, yeah. After.
I don't know. I think it might have been before.
You think so?
I think it might have been before. Because he was doing more first album stuff on the Hard Knock Life
The Backstage tour.
And he was one of them artists where
Backstage was the video movie, but there was a Hard Knock Life tour.
It was a Hard Knock Life tour.
Yeah, I think it was after the first album. I think it was he was mainly playing first. He was probably recording that during the process a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if he was done the second album though.
And he shocked everybody with 2 albums in 1 year, and
they both was
fire.
Like, that's a big deal.
So it's like I was 11 years old when these came out.
So so this was before the Hard Knock Life tour was in 99, 2000.
This album was before the Hard Knock Life?
Yep.
So he had 2 albums out before
2 albums out on that tour. That's what made him the threat on that tour.
That's what made him have to go back and forth as the closer on that tour.
And Swiss Beats was his DJ on that tour. I remember. Yeah. But so where would y'all say like the landscape of hip hop was in '98? Of course, we got DMX. He killing it. Like, who else is moving out there in hip hop in '98?
I shouldn't tell him to go back and watch all the previous episodes where you talked about the album and we broke them down.
If you haven't heard it though,
all of them.
This the last one of the 25, so we maybe got recap it one more time.
I'm taking a guess. I'm gonna say
everybody got different.
Everybody
got different opinions on who they thought was popular.
I'm even step out there and say, I'm taking a guess. Missy for the ladies. I feel like Missy was popping in.
Missy was strong.
Missy was moving.
98. Missy. I think even for real, it might be surprising, but LL still had a little bit of action. It's like
LL was still moving.
It was the Locks, of course.
We don't mention Nori. Nori was in this middle of this. Nori was hot fire.
Nori was on fire.
Nori
Fish Crease.
Nori came out 25. I mean 98. He came out in 98, so his album was a classic.
Right, yeah.
For sure.
So
Nori was Fish Grease.
You said the Locks. You got to say Puff and Mace if you're gonna say the Locks.
For sure.
Absolutely.
The tip
Shiny suit.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. I ain't got nothing to say about Puff. Don't comment on Puff. Don't look at me. Relax.
Take that.
Take
that. Man, you got Big Pun and Fat Joe putting it down.
Absolutely.
TS putting it down for them. Busta Rhymes, Heavy.
Bertha Juvenile and
Juvie, Cash Money. We talk
Cash
about
Money, fresh on the scene.
Cash Money. And you're going to talk about Cash Money, you got to talk about No Limit out there.
Still relevant.
I want to say Snoop was probably with them around this time.
Yeah, he was. Snoop was on No Limit at this time. And you said Missy, you got Foxy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Little Kim, of course.
Yeah.
She moving out there.
Real heavy.
Outkast. I don't know if you said Outkast. Remember, you was on that Quemini 25 episode.
Absolutely.
They had a classic out this year too.
Wyclef dropped the Carnival around here, right? This was Wyclef.
Nah, man. You just wanted to talk about Wyclef. You already got to talk about Wyclef, man. No, Lauryn Hill dropped the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, man. You better be respectful.
That was
99. That was 98. It was 98. August of 98. August 98.
The R&B Lauryn Hill.
No, come on. All right,
It is R&B. It is R&B. As much as I love it, it's more R&B.
It is, yeah, it's more R&B.
But it's a classic, though. But when she give you bars, though, she give you bars.
Absolutely. That's what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy and Trina and them Slip and Slide started moving around this time in 98.
Take it to the house.
Yeah. I don't know.
Trina was fucking them gold shorts up. Trina was fucking them shorts up in that video.
Said, you don't know Nan?
Wow. Okay.
Word.
Then for the hip hop heads, we got Cannabis out there.
Don't look at me. You keep looking at me when you
guy.
say those type of
That's
people.
your guy.
Don't do that.
Nah, Cannabis was dope before the album dropped. Cannabis was on fire.
Cannabis
Cannabis was on fire. And then, of course, the true hip hop heads, man. Black Star was out that year, too. They was dope as well. So you got a lot. Like Freak said, 98 was a great
98
year.
was a hell of a
One
year.
of my favorite years in hip hop, man. I'm going to say my favorite year in hip hop is 96. But 98 is right after that, man. 98 it was a
98
great
was
year
messy.
in hip hop.
I wonder if that was the last great year in hip hop. Because before then, you had other great years where it'd be like Life After Death or Biggie dropping, Nas dropping, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if we had a prolific year like that year since then.
It's early.
Not when I can say like it's like 10 classic albums that I know like are definitely classic albums. I can say it with my chest.
And not
You're
only
probably right
speaking
about
on it, chart breaking.
Yeah.
Because these albums that came out this year was actually selling units.
with the numbers.
You know what I'm saying?
With the numbers,
so it was backing up, the music was backed up by the sales.
I'll say it's probably the last year that I can think off the top of my head, even through all the 2000s, where it was this many classic albums that I consider classics. I think so. Probably the last year of classics at this caliber. That's why we celebrating them, man. 25th, because they deserve their flowers. And we haven't had a year of more anniversaries than this year, ever.
I don't think we're gonna have that many 22 next year.
Nah.
It ain't gonna be that many.
It's gonna be a few.
It's gonna be a few. Real limited.
A few. So T Harp, you an MC.
Right.
G Dash, you do spoken word. So y'all know about the artistry. So how would y'all describe DMX as an artist in 98 before this album dropped?
DMX said things that you're not supposed to say. He literally, like, from a lyrical standpoint, while yes, he probably was one of the best storytellers of our time.
Right.
Like, but not only that, to come back second album in the same year, and he was talking some of the rawest I ever heard in my life. Like, it was like, yo, okay, this is what can happen in these streets, brother. You better be careful.
Yeah.
But that was kind of his message. Really, a lot of it was, this is where the streets go. What's up? Like, it wasn't no crazy. Shouts out to Mos Def and Talib and that type of wordplay. he wasn't doing that. He was telling you really, you could see exactly what he was saying. He's painting pictures every time.
Right.
Yeah.
While showing you, I gets busy with the pen.
Yeah.
But understand I'm not for play. Like he the type that you don't want to battle for no reason.
So. And I feel like for sure Raw is the first thing you think of when you're a DMX. But at the same time, I feel like he don't get enough credit for just being a genuine person. He's genuine. It's
really
is
meant it.
authentic. He's saying what he meant. He's saying what he felt. All his struggles, he put it
He
out
wasn't
there.
perfect.
And
He throw that out there.
And that's what you need.
Yeah.
It's that reminder, like, okay, I don't got to wake up and I can trip. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
it's like,
you know what? I'm mad right now.
Yeah.
exactly. And I have a favorite interview where he did, and I watched, and I just heard him say, like, who wants to be happy all the time? And I don't, not to put a downer on it, but it's just like, it's real. Right. So that was the rawness and genuine authenticity in DMX, and he carried that through Dark and Hell is Hot and Flesh in My Flesh, Blood is My Blood.
Yeah. 1 minute you looking down the barrel of his gun, and the next minute he praying for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I always took it. Like don't make me. That's how I always looked at him. Like, yo, nigga, you know what's up. Don't play with me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let me pray for you.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't make the mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I took him in.
so real.
And more of anything, like he was just like, hey, y'all said raw, pure, everything that he was just a machine, man.
Yeah.
He was a machine at one point that it was like you know he was coming. And he was coming with heat as well. And he was a hell of a guy, man.
He was on fire, first of
Absolutely.
all. 98, he was on fire. He came out with his Dark and Hell is Hot, his debut album. It's a classic. It's arguably the best album of that year, which and a bunch of classics came out. So that alone says a lot. But then he came out with his Dark and Hell is Hot in the spring. He's part of one of the biggest hip hop movies that we celebrated this year also, Belly.
Right.
So between It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Belly, he is like on fire. Like he the hottest thing. He's the hottest artist in hip hop in 98. To me, hands down. He's the hottest artist in 98. So he's on fire. He the biggest rapper in the game.
Yeah.
Like that's his year.
Yeah.
98 was DMX's year. Yeah. And like T-Hart, I'm gonna ask you as an MC, like DMX bar wise, do you think he underrated? Like what kind of MC do you consider like DMX? Because he's not like a metaphor crazy or like rapidy rap, giving you a bunch of syllables and stuff. But like, what kind of MC do you consider him? Just from somebody loving hip hop,
right?
Knowing the art.
And he's not that kind of MC. He's very straightforward, and I appreciate it for the type of person I am and all of that. And even to slide that in there, like even when I had some dark moments, and slipping was the one that. And it's just like
we're gonna talk about that.
I think sometimes as a community. But as a hip hop culture, we hear stuff and we're not necessarily hearing it and listening to what is going on. But DMX is just like I just appreciate the straightforward delivery. I just appreciate that, and that's what music is about. There's no right or wrong way.
He wanted you to get that though.
Yeah.
He wanted you to get that. You know, like G Dash said, like he was like straight up, no chasing. Sure. This is what you getting.
Yeah.
I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Plus,
you like
he
it or
battle
you don't.
that way.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said
you don't want to battle that
reason, because he was because he could eat you up without using a bunch of wild metaphors and talking all he was going toe to toe with Hov, and there's still debates on who won that battle. In DMX, again, I feel like Jay probably was using metaphors and trying to drive you around the block. And X was like, "Nah, I'll punch you in the face. It's gonna hurt." Yeah. Like it's a little different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't the raw energy of it with the way that he could play with these and kind of.
And he threw the things that made him as a man and his character and what you known him for. He threw it in there.
Right.
The growls, the barks. You know what I'm saying? The dark voices. You know what I'm saying? So it make you seem like, this nigga really was a stick-up kid. You know what I'm saying? Or this nigga really was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Everything about his story.
This nigga really loved his dog.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga really do pray a lot. You feel me? And that's what I got out of him every time I heard him.
Yeah.
And everybody can't do that.
Nah, not at all. Nah, DMX was on fire. He was on fire in '98 for sure, man, for sure.
Okay, I was gonna say X is one of the first MCs that I can think of that not only like the other rappers could cause a fight in the club. He like mayhem. Like, guess what? Like, you might not make it home when the X record come on and you get punched in the face. You might not make it home. Clubs getting shut down because the X record's on. Like, it was a different. It could get dark when DMX started to play. Like, you had to be ready.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
And I was just gonna piggyback on the other side of that, where I'm somebody who appreciates everyday life. So if you ain't in the club, you still can play X. You still can listen to X all day, every day, and that's what I think. My opinion, I think that's probably where it might be a little bit more valuable. Like,
Right, it would be safer.
my opinion, like, I want to hear something that's going to inspire me and connect with somebody. Like, oh, they was there. That's what I need to try. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to experience. So, but yeah.
And this is a shiny time in rap. A lot of flossing.
Absolutely.
And as much as I was a fan of that era, I ain't gonna lie. And as much as I love Jay,
That shiny suit you had.
like,
Tell
I
him.
definitely ain't had no shiny suit.
Two-piece.
And as much as I love Jay, like, you gotta respect that grimy side of DMX.
Yeah.
Like, he's the opposite of that. He ain't really talk about that. He talked about robbing them guys.
Well, he was with so when the Locks came to Rough Riders and what they was already do, We Are the Streets movement. All right, that's a vibe. But where X was like a whole, like, you better hope the Locks catch you first because X was so dark.
Like, here's the thing about that separates DMX from a lot of other rappers. A lot of other dudes just made up this stuff.
Yes.
He really did it.
Yes.
He really was robbing people.
Yes.
When he got signed, way before Kanye, his mouth was wired shut.
Yeah.
Because he got beat up for a dude that robbed him, caught him. So his mouth was wired. So he was really rapping through the wires. That's how he got signed. Damn. Before Kanye.
Was that around Pull It? Do you know?
Now
I want to go. I want to hear him rapping with
Leroy Cohen came. Irv Gotti brought him to the Rough Riders studio, and it was like a bunch of other dudes rapping, trying to get on. Leroy Cohen was like, they cool, but he waiting for DMX. And DMX came there with his mouth wired shut, just rapping so hard that they was like things breaking off his face, and that's how he got signed. He was like, this dude's a star. Sign him right now. And mind you, Puff, all these other record labels, he was rapping for years. They all passed on him. So, like, DMX, it was destined to be who he was. He was going to get out at some point regardless. Because he just was that guy. He had to wait for his time. So would y'all say this album was anticipated when you?
Nah.
Really?
Nah. Why? We didn't know he was going to drop this year again.
Well, they announced it. This is when this
this
isn't the drop it on Friday era. This is when, like, you had an album, they at least promoted for a week or two.
Yeah, I feel you, but once it came to that, but we wasn't looking for it. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker landed in our lap.
But
kind of.
His first single came out before the album.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They promoted it.
So
I'm thinking it's just more X coming. You know what I'm saying?
When you heard new DMX, like, I was like, oh, I'm ready.
Yeah. I was sold then, but I'm just saying, like, before that, like, I wasn't like, damn, I can't wait for him to drop another
Because we wasn't expecting a new album in the same year. Right. We wasn't thinking about that. That wasn't an option. That wasn't really an option. Pac did it, but Pac was dead when he did it. Like, so that wasn't really even in his control.
I'll say this, for me it was, but only because, and I know you was going to get to this anyway, but the cover art. The cover art was on posters before that album came out. I'll never forget because it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, poster art.
Like, him being covered in blood was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's going to get your attention for sure.
It was, yeah.
It is, but even for me as a kid, like I said, I was 11 years old when this album dropped.
Wow.
Okay. So, like, this album dropping, all I know is I'm coming at you from the consumer part at this time because I knew all about the anthem on Dark and Hell is Hot and this, but to circle right back around, I just remember being at Ellesmere skating rink and it's just like, oh, I ain't heard this DMX song. And every time they play this song, everybody's on the skating floor. And this is a whole different, this is a whole different segment, whatever you want to call it, that's listening and hearing DMX. That's how I heard it, and that's how I was received. That's how I received it. Like, so from beginning with Dark Hell is Hot, and then he had this on top of that, in the same year, as a young kid, without knowing all the stats, logistically, I know DMX is hot. That's how I broke it down.
Right.
Everybody playing it, everybody listening to it. You can ride down the street, somebody bumping it. You want to hear it.
It was there.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. You can't miss it.
And we're, you know what I mean? We know what he did for hip hop. So
when you heard the album was coming out, what was your expectations at the point? Like DMX dropped another album in the same year. Like, what was your expectation?
I didn't. That's what I'm saying. That's why no disregard to like my position as a hip hop artist now, but
You were 11.
I was 11, so it's just like
He was 11.
all I know, but it's still good insight, great insight for whoever. It's just like make good shit.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
That was
make,
key.
Make the
That
stuff
was
that's
key.
hot. Like,
That was key.
11-year-old Ty Harper don't care about
Right.
oh, everybody partying and this and
Yeah.
this. But it felt good.
Yeah.
And for me to say
That's
it
where
felt,
music starts at,
Yeah,
though.
and for
You know
me to
what I'm
say
saying?
it felt good coming from X,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand that because they get lost in the visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he be saying stuff and he communicates
Yeah.
an emotion that I think everybody needs.
Yeah, I was 14, 15 in this era. So for me, only a few years later, but in teenage years,
That's a different.
That's a different.
It is. It is.
So like,
'Cause I ain't in high
this was
school.
kind of like I was knee deep in hip hop. I was like,
right,
Band
right.
from TV was already in my
Right.
And so when this came, I said, "Oh, we about to get. This is where life is going right
Absolutely.
now. What the hell is about to happen?" I really, my anticipation was, "What the hell is?" I didn't know what to expect because he already dropped the one.
Right.
And again, everything about this just looks different from that. Right. And I remember from when he first came out. That's why I go to Pull It with Cameron. That's the first time I heard him. So
That
like
song was hard.
That song was hard. Pull It then where my dog's at. So once you take me into that, and then we into this, but then this thing looked like a whole nother level of darkness. Sorry, I was like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's power of a single though, because I don't want to make it look like I ain't listened to the album, because I did, even as a young boy, and I knew it worked. But the power of the singles, he got the singles, but this a whole solid piece of work.
Yeah.
I agree. So G Dash, you mentioned the album cover, man. Jonathan Mannion was the photographer for the album cover. It was his idea for DMX to go in a bath, a pool of blood, based off the album title. When he heard the album title, he presented this to DMX. DMX wasn't really feeling it. Like, I don't really know. He took it like flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood is like a spiritual thing. But DMX thought the idea would come across as like some devil worship.
Demonic.
kind
That's
of
how it
thing.
felt. Not gonna lie.
Like
That's
some,
the first time I
and honestly, when I first seen it, I took it like that. But the vision for the photographer, he wasn't taking it like that. He said the title was "Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood," so it's like the blood is protecting me. But kind of like how the mindset we is probably in at that point. This is like scary movie kind of blood. Like, so like, yo, he tripping, man. Like, what is this, man?
Here's the worst part. In my spirit, that felt, everything about that just felt dark and demonic. But I was 14, 15. You know how quickly I ran to that album? I was going to be hearing this ASAP. I need to know.
Shock value.
I need that the day of.
But he said, the photographer Mannion said it was a risk to put him in a pool of blood. Everybody instantly thinks violence and horror, but in my mind, why isn't it a protection thing, covered in the blood of Christ? I went with the white background to evoke peaceful prayer, the peaceful, prayerful side of him, which speaks clearly to faith and his belief in himself. The red was the intensity of the delivery of his message. You couldn't look away. Now, DMX said about this, he said the pool of blood was freezing. He said it was freezing cold. He said, and he had jeans on, and he tried to get out of doing it. So he told Jonathan Mannion, he said, I got a good pair of jeans on, so I can't do it. And Jonathan Mannion was like, all right, that's cool. We got a whole set of jeans for you. You could change in to do this. So DMX said it was like freezing cold. So he really hurried up and took it. So this wasn't like a long photo shoot. He said he was like shivering, freezing. It was cold. So he hurried up and got through it. And then I heard Swiss Beats say when he first seen the cover, like, X, you going too far, man. But he said as he got older, he appreciated the art in it. And as he got older, you know, he real artsy kind of dude.
Nah, it is artistic.
So what do y'all? So this cover, like, then and now, what do you think about this cover? Because this is a unique cover in hip hop.
I just thought it represented the album in a major way because it's letting you know like this guy is, you know, he's like different and flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Why not? Fucking, I'm coming with blood dripping all off me because at the end of the day, this is what I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm just my own. Yeah. It was crazy, man. But I just thought it was dope, man. It just sort of was still in the same lines as the first album. You know, with the One Love, with the Boomer, they still showed his back and all that. You know what I'm saying? So it still represented him to me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just was letting people know, like, yo, man, I'm here, man. I'm
gonna say this: if I'm a casual hip hop fan and I see this album cover, it might intrigue me to buy the album,
right?
Just off the album cover. If I ain't know DMX, that's how dope and different this album cover is. It's not just somebody standing next to their boys.
It was well under budget,
right? Yeah,
well under budget.
And it's like I can speak as being an artist. It's one of those instances where I feel like, you know, the classic value and product of this album is like other people seeing in you what you might not see. Because he didn't want to do it,
right?
And it's been times where you always go through that as an artist, where
right.
It's like you gotta listen to somebody, you gotta trust somebody's eye, vision, heart, all that.
Especially an artist.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like that's one thing that worked out for X in this album and all of that. Like somebody seen something that he didn't see, so
I agree.
I appreciate him flowing with that.
I appreciate the dialogue on it, Carl, because I didn't know about that.
Right,
you did your homework.
Absolutely.
I ain't either.
I'm today years old.
I do.
Don't give him too much now, y'all. Don't plug him up. Don't plug him up in the wall.
You know I do this, man.
Don't plug him up in the wall.
But let's be clear, right? This is the entertaining part about what you said, and why what you said matters. I was today years old and finding this out because that's a violent album cover. If you asked me yesterday how I felt about that, I said that's violent. He covered in blood, but that speaks to X and how he kind of be killing these niggas on these records. That's everything I would have said about why that album cover is what that album cover is. So that's why it's like,
you got everybody blood on his hands.
Yeah,
that's why the blood dripping off his hands.
I definitely took killer blood from that back then for sure.
Yes.
They knew that though.
But it makes sense.
I'm gonna kill him this year.
Yeah.
But it makes sense now hearing the photographer say it's flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Yes. I look at it different now.
I never thought it was his own blood.
I get it. Right.
I never thought that would be your own blood.
Right. So yeah, it's also based off of life. You see stuff different when you're in different spaces, man. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But the way his music was, I'm thinking he killing everybody. That's what I'm thinking. He killing everybody, and that's the blood right there. That's what I was getting.
Yeah.
But Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood is the second album by DMX released on December 22nd, 1998 on Def Jam Recordings and Rough Rider Entertainment. The album came out only 7 months after his debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, came out the same year. A majority of the production was done on this album by Swiss Beats, which with additional production by Dame Grease, PK, DJ Shock, and Irv Gotti. And that's a difference based off his first album. Mm-hmm. With momentum on X side, Island Def Jam Music Group co-president Leor Cohen made a proposal to X. He said, if you could finish another album before the year's end, he'll give him a $1 million bonus. True. So that was the incentive to do this. Leor Cohen wanted Def Jam to end the year out strong, and he felt another DMX album could do that. Because the beginning did.
You're right.
That's what I
thought. You damn right.
Yeah. So he felt another strong multi-platinum DMX album would really end the year, a great year for Def Jam, out real strong, man. So X went out to LA with Swiss Beats and Locked In, and they made a bulk of the album in a few months.
I don't believe you.
And then we have it here, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. So we gonna get into it.
Let's go.
All right. Track number 1, My Niggas, intro, produced by Swiss Beats.
When this first came on, I remember when we first listened to the album, we was inside the Honeycomb. Beak was trying to fast forward it. He's like, man, I don't want to hear him pray. I'm like, man, he ain't praying for those 3-4 minutes. Man, go back. You know what I'm saying? And then it actually came on, and that became one of his favorite songs. My niggas, some niggas that you don't want to try. My niggas. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was like a pep rally type joint. I can see everybody in the middle getting hyped. You know what I'm saying?
You would
And that's how I
not
took
take
it.
this from me, baby.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
My niggas.
Just cause I love my niggas. So once he said that, Big was like, oh, he about to start praying. You know, brothers is Muslim, so they ain't really, you know what I'm saying. But
plus, I even understand that because in listening to it, it does sound like a continuation of "It's Dark and I Was High," which ended with a prayer. So it literally, I could completely see that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, when I first heard that thing, it was like raw energy. I said, "What the like?" It was okay. So this is where we're going.
I said he's no way he praying for 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes.
Well, he said Swiss Beats said that like this was like a freelance. It was just DMX vibe, and it sounded like that. He said it wasn't like nothing strategic behind this. It was like just DMX just went in the booth, and this was the vibe they came out with. And it sounded like that kind of. It just kind of.
It sounded like a get hype joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, we got track number 2. Bring Your Whole Crew, produced by PK.
I wouldn't guess this. This was a filler to me.
What?
Yeah.
This be hard to me.
Wait, filler to me, man.
What?
I said it's my favorite, but it's be kind of hard.
I just love when the nigga bring his whole crew just to
bring a piece of cake for me to chew a hole through. I just love.
Hey, Priest.
They follow too much in that hook.
I get it. I don't like the word filler.
I filler disrespectful.
It made the album.
I like.
It's produced by PK. This is not Swiss Beats.
So to be clear, to me, it feels like it follows up perfectly. Just because I love my niggas,
it's content.
We start off, but just because we start off with my niggas, and then it's from the gate. I got my squad with me now. I just love when a nigga bring his whole crew. Like y'all come, bring yours.
I understand the way you package it up, but it ain't make it.
I ain't mine.
It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's not bad to me. It's not like I got to fast forward.
I can do without it.
I just love when a nigga bring his whole crew with just a piece of cake.
It was an energy record.
I like it. I like that.
That was one of the records that was getting people bopped.
I
give you that. That was one of the records that was getting people bopped.
Enjoy it.
All right, track number 3, we got Pac-Man. It's a skit.
Hey, Pac-Man.
Dude came on a block talking crazy, man. Got his head blown off.
Right on the spot. Right on the spot.
Yeah, his skits literally went into belly. Like I feel.
Yeah,
that's fair.
They had to.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like
they had to.
It was that type of feeling. Like it was.
He was that hot though.
Very very raw. You know, he was Beanie Siegel before Beans.
Wow. And then that goes into track number 4, Ain't No Way, produced
right
by
after
Swiss
one.
Beats.
This is what I went to. Number 4.
What do you call this?
This better not be.
Come on, this that hate.
Okay, all right, okay.
Oh my hood, my hood.
Wait, so this is heat, but that one wasn't.
Yeah, you nailed that joint. Yeah.
This that shit.
Okay.
So
that beat.
Okay, all right. I mean, I love them both,
they
but
gonna stop
ain't no way they gonna stop my shine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You must be up in I don't know why.
Yeah.
niggas just like they give it
For
to
sure.
Yeah.
For
I like this
sure.
song, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I will say this was more lyrical, like him about rapping than just fucking niggas up. You know?
So, and then not only that, so like I told y'all, 11 years old, but as I got older and going back and hearing like songs that this caliber, oh man, thank you.
Ain't no
That's all I
way
can
they
say.
gonna stop my flow. Ain't no way you
Yeah,
niggas just
you guys
don't know.
You ain't been there or done that. The fuck is you niggas telling me?
Oh no.
Yeah. You know?
Oh
I
no.
experienced some things.
Only nigga walking the street before felonies.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
platinum.
Yeah.
Exactly what he
Got
said.
Make it double
yeah.
platinum.
The humorous.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
And he was that serious. He
Yeah.
actually did this shit. Like, hey, all right,
And I'm gonna say ripping shows and flipping hoes. No getting more. Yeah. That's what he was on his shit.
Woo! Track number 5, We Don't Give a Fuck, featuring Jadakiss and Styles. This is my joint right
Yeah.
here. Yo.
Are they going at Ja Rule though on this song? Yeah. Cause you know that was the rumor.
I heard
DMX was.
It sounded like it. It definitely Styles P was like, man, let me get this nigga for you.
Yo, I love this hook, man. I don't know why, because nobody was saying nothing like this to me then. Used to be my dog, you was in my left titty.
Yeah, I
Scream, ride or die. I thought you would die with me. Like, it used to be my man.
There go Belly. When it wet, he said when it rain, niggas get wet.
Yes. Nah, man.
That was a perfect fit.
Found out you a
Stupid
bitch.
Does.
You can't even ride with me. Now it's a war.
Shot, sucker.
Now I will say, consider it, knowing now that this song that his verses was about Ja, it feels so much more personal when you hear it. Like, it don't feel like a battle record. It feel like, yo, fuck you, nigga.
It felt like
it
Styles.
felt violent. It felt like
Styles P was like, man, you ain't getting hard enough. Let me get him.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy is that
Wow.
Earl Gotti produced this song.
I know.
though.
Yeah.
But Styles P verse was hard on
Yes, it was. Best verse.
Jadakiss did the chorus, but Styles P verse was
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it
X,
said,
fuck them niggas. Them niggas ain't your
the
dogs.
dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said, treat them like a cat and shake their ass to the floor.
He said,
He said, little wanna be used, so why you run with them?
yeah.
You can't trust. He said, you can't trust niggas further you throw 'em.
Throw it further, you can throw them.
Yeah.
next thing you know, Ja Rule go from his murder to every little thing that we do.
This nigga is crazy.
He said, niggas look like they phony, sound
Come
like
on,
they
G-Dad,
phony,
you killing me.
run around acting like they motherfuckers homies.
I'm
Like,
just
he was
saying, the
killing that,
content
man.
changed after.
He said they shouldn't make a move to hear it from out of your mouth. Don't allow snakes running with dogs.
Yeah, guys, Styles P killed that. This is my song. I always like this song. Like, this is one of my go-to
Yeah,
songs. This
absolutely.
is one of my sleeper go-to
It's one of the
songs.
best
Like
ones on
phone.
the album.
It wasn't like a big single, but I used to rock with this song heavy, man. And that just brings the whole Rough Rider music, the whole entertainment. You got X now, and the Locks is leaving Bad Boy. We forming with X, man. We changing our image up. We ain't like that image. We rolling with X. We like that hard stuff. So this is a perfect type of song to throw them on to really go into where they going with their music, trying to change up.
Right before We Are the Streets came out.
Crazy. That's my joint too. Track number 6, Keep Your Shit the Hardest, produced by Swiss Beats.
I kind of got the same feeling from this as my niggas.
No, Freak.
Yeah.
No.
This beat
Why
kind of
not?
bouncy though.
No.
Beat
No,
kind
yeah,
bouncy.
that's
It's like a chant.
No, he
Yeah,
said
I took
as
it
my
as a
niggas,
chant.
not the other one.
Yeah.
So as my niggas, yeah.
What you want me to do? Keep your shit the hardest. About to go down. Some niggas that you don't want to try, my niggas. Some niggas, you feel me?
Get it.
Yeah,
it's
it's like a
just
get hype
anthem.
joint.
Yeah, that's fair.
It definitely gets you hyped. The beat kind of is real. I ain't gonna say happy, but it's bouncy. It's
Yeah.
bouncy.
Plus, well, if we're being real, it coming off, and I never thought about it like this, but like as an A&R would think about it, you coming off of Rough Riders Anthem, which was his biggest hit, like like at that time.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, let's see what we have on this album. Let's put together anthems, right? Like he got a couple anthem records just kind of spaced out throughout this, just off the strength of him and Swiss.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everything not gonna be a home run hit.
Nah,
and I know that as an artist, and it's just like,
That ain't funny.
yeah. And I'm not saying that that's what we speaking to, but I'm just saying like I can understand the journey and the channel to putting together a piece of work,
Right,
and it's
right,
just
right,
like
right.
that's why, and we good, but it ain't like it's a filler.
Right, nah, I didn't.
No, but that was the second
But
record.
I
That's
get
why I
it, though,
stopped
but
you.
it's
He
like-
said the second record was the filler, not the first one. So
Yeah.
No. And even but I appreciate that because that's how the consumer sees
Right,
it.
right,
And so
right,
I'm looking
right.
at it.
I don't think it's a
but-
filler at
And
all.
he
I
not
think
saying
it's a
like
filler. Nah. All right, so we got track number 7 coming from featuring Mary J. Blige, produced by PK.
What?
You don't like this song?
you don't like this Reese?
This was different. It slowed it down.
It was
You got
alright.
vulnerable.
It was alright.
There was a skit at the end.
I know where I'm coming from. Wherever I go. Come on.
Yo, this beat hard though.
The beat is
The
dope.
beat is hard.
I can do without it.
This is an important record, freaks, because Mary J. Blige is from Yonkers.
I know.
And she's showing DMX.
I
This
know.
is a big record.
We could have did Mary a little better than
I'm
this.
about to say, Freaks, you got spoiled.
But he
you
went-
coming off Iron Man,
But he
Mary
went-
J.
but-
All I got is you.
But he
coming
wanted
this?
to get he wanted to bring Mary J into his world, not the
Yeah,
R&B
that's
soul
bad.
world. He wanted to bring her
That's
to that grimy world. This is a DMX kind of record.
I could have did without it. Just me.
You was spoiled on Mary J though. Is that
I
fair
was.
to say?
I love.
Okay,
I love Mary J.
Get
But
on topic, but yeah,
this wasn't one of my favorite X songs.
I get that.
Bottom tier.
I think it was a good
respect
record. I think
that.
that it was one of those records that showed DMX's range.
I think
on
it
that
made
album.
sense to me.
It
made
did make sense. It
It was alright.
I think otherwise you're gonna stay on some super hard stuff the whole time, which
Yeah,
I feel you.
I respect that.
Right.
All of it. I do. I respect all that.
All right, track number 8, we got "It's All Good," produced by Swiss Beats.
All day,
Sleeper.
and all night.
It's that skating joint you talking about.
No.
It's all
Yo,
good.
so look,
It's all
this
dead.
this is a sleeper.
It's
Let
that
me-
skating joint you talking about.
No, the skating joint is No Love for Me. This right here
But this
is
is the same type of bop though.
barbecue.
Honestly,
This
was
is
that
the
same type of bop.
barbecue, and I'm a young boy, and yeah.
This
I
song-
kind of think he would. I think he kind of slid to the West Coast with the drum line with this one. You know what I'm
This song
saying?
is kind of for the ladies. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's like.
Well, this was
Man,
the
who
prequel.
produced
Like, so if you think about some of the stuff we got on, and then there was X, like, why I do good girls. Like, this is in that type of
Yeah,
lane.
yeah.
So it's for girls, but it's like, yo, we trying what's good. So like that was
He getting right to the point on this
Get
one.
way to it.
He ain't beating around the bush what we talk about here.
Yeah.
But X requested Swiss use this sample of Tana Gardner song "Heartbeat" because he used to freestyle over this beat all the time and he liked it. So he was like, "Yo, make sure you get this, get a sample, a beat with this on the album because this is like his freestyle beat coming up. He's always like to freestyle over his
I
beat."
can see that.
So there you go. Track number 9, we got Omen, Damien 2, featuring Marilyn Manson, produced by Swiss Beats.
art. When I say art. I don't care whether you like it, whether you don't. You felt something after you heard that record.
Yeah.
But like, the picture was different. It was part 2.
Yeah.
Like it whew,
So
art.
Damien, the original Damien was originally on his
Art.
Dark and Hell is Hot. But this is a controversial record because at that time, if you can remember
Manson.
back at that time,
Yep.
Marilyn Manson was very controversial.
Ostracized.
First of all, his name was Marilyn Manson for one. He dressed like crazy, like some devil bugged out stuff. So he doing a record with DMX, a rapper. He's in rock. He's doing a record with a rapper called The Omen, Damien 2.
Let's look at the album cover. Go back to the album.
I agree,
now this
bro.
is why that album cover looks so
Makes
demonic.
so much sense.
It adds context.
Yeah.
Like again, I never thought it was his blood. And that album cover feels real, like it all went together. Again, but that song concluded this, like was part 2 of the series. It was just
But
This is one of my joints right here,
This
bro.
song is also why I feel like this album crossed over to a different album. Because they're like, oh, Marilyn Manson fans probably seen Marilyn Manson's on here, and you look at his album cover.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go
Oh, they
buy
loved
this.
it.
I don't even like rap,
They loved
but I'm
it.
gonna go buy this album.
His
You can tell
team-
they had in control over the hook.
His team saw something that he didn't see. That's all.
Yeah.
And the song worked though. The song actually
He
worked.
said, "I ain't your man's no more."
He talking to the devil is part 2. He making a deal with the devil. He
Right.
wanting to go bomb Central Park.
Right.
Like,
like that's where
you bomb Central Park, I'll give you what you want. You want these girls? I got this girl. I got all that lined up for you, man.
Right.
And DMX is like going back and forth, like, nah, I don't think I'm with this no more. Like, it's going too far. It's like a conversation, though. It's part 2 of like a conversation. It's creative, man.
It's storytelling.
It not only it was storytelling in hip hop in a dark way.
Right.
Like that's what made it so crazy. But it wasn't like just in the realm of hip hop. It wasn't like Gravediggers dark. It just walked up to the
No,
line.
yeah.
But that's what made it crazy because it felt like it ran up to a line but stopped in a level of reality. So you could still see it happening, but it being like what was the movie with Devil's Advocate? It was almost, it was that in a street world.
But remember, he shot a kid in the beginning of this.
Right.
So
That was a
in the
crime.
beginning, it's a mom crying because his son is about to die because DMX killed them.
Yeah.
For the part of his deal with the devil. This got layers to it, man. This is interesting right here.
It was an amazing story.
It's a dope song though.
Absolutely.
Whew. Track number 10, Slippin', produced by DJ Shock. This is the first single of the album.
It's top 100 songs ever.
Ever. Top
Ever.
5 for
Now-
me.
now just so
period.
Top 5, period,
Me.
ever?
Song, period.
Ever.
For me.
Ever.
Ty Harbor, for me, yes.
Yes.
This
I
is-
say top 100. I don't know
this-
where you put it at,
for
but it's
me.
top 100.
This is the
For
realest.
Ty Harbor.
This is the realest song that DMX ever made. My favorite DMX song and one of the realest rap songs ever, in my opinion. I don't know where it's at on the list, but it's up there. Like
So-
this is a real song right here.
I did research on this song because what it did for me.
The video was crazy.
Yeah.
And even
He was telling
outside of
the
that,
story.
like, yeah, and then so my research found, and anybody could correct me if I'm wrong, I'm all for that. But I found a production tip. They didn't want to clear the record until they got the profanity out of it.
Right. That's why you had the editing.
Yeah,
that's
so
a
that's-
fact.
Like, woo!
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
like,
fact.
wait
Drama
a
with my
minute.
mama. Yeah.
And so I heard it though. I think I just was looking on the internet and I found it, I heard it, and I'm like, I get it. But
see,
overall,
that's a good point, because that was something in hip hop. It's songs where you hear albums and you wonder why like everything else is cussing, and then that song is edited. It's because certain artists wouldn't clear the samples without cusses
cursing,
on it.
yeah.
So that's why you got him on certain words. He like whoa on slipping, but because of stuff like that.
But on the low, the other dope part about that was his edited versions was his own ad libs, and that was like we never heard nothing like that. Like he barking instead of cursing.
All right, you want me to edit? I'm gonna do it my way.
Right, that was fire.
that was fair though. I like that. I like
Yo,
that
this
about
song
this
is so real.
Yes, it is,
Like this
man.
is literally his story. Like this dude was putting homes, institutions. Like this is not like a tale.
Yeah.
This is his life.
Yeah.
Like he really was robbing dudes. He really was he really was thrown away. He was in jail.
Yeah.
Like this is all happening. Like, yo, one day they're gonna, hopefully the right person is behind it, but he's gonna get a movie.
Yeah.
And if they do it right, it's gonna be so great, because his story is really a movie for real.
I had some dark days. That's all I'm gonna say. I had dark days, and this slipping got
Absolutely.
me through a lot. And then
Yeah.
I've been,
Of course it did.
and I've been,
Why?
Why?
Because it was life.
Hell yeah.
it was like-
And then I just
This was the
watched-
closest it came.
Yeah, all the stuff
You know what I'm
on
saying?
TV.
He said, I want to make records,
You know what I thought about?
but I'm all fucked up. I want to make records, but I can't make records.
Who this song kind of like when he was like, he said the only motherfucker I hit on was my dog.
Yeah.
With my last. Man, when that part, and then I seen the video, I was like, man, that's AD like a motherfucker. You remember AD used to keep his dog back in the day, bro. Word, man. Rest in peace, my baby AD.
Rest in peace.
For
He
me, it
used to
was-
keep his dog.
For me, it was then keep your hair cut or give a
Fuck
how
how
I
I
dress.
dress.
That part right there broke me.
He said, I
all
kept a
down.
chip on my shoulders that I dared niggas to touch. Didn't need a click, because I scared
Yeah,
niggas
that
that
much.
much.
That's a fact.
One deep. One deep, nigga.
And you could tell that he meant
It's a
it.
bad
Absolutely.
situation. Like they to find my way.
That's that conviction.
Happiness is not far away.
Yeah.
One of the wildest things to me about that song. Now I had the cassette, and I didn't remember I had the cassette till right now. Because no, I'm dead serious. Because I remember Damien ended the side A. Side B starts with slipping. So you literally have to physically turn the tape over.
Tell him your age, G-Dash. Tell him your age.
I don't give a. I made it this long. Like a lot of people ain't make it. So you had to flip that tape over to hear this other side.
Absolutely.
And then it starts off with something that is emotional equity. Like for me, I grew up growing up on North Side. When you grow up in the hood, it's like, oh wait, you can make it. Push through. I promise you, I did a show called Music Therapy a couple years ago, and it was all DMX, just general. It was right after he died, so it was literally talking about how he connect to emotional. That song specifically, I probably got countless people through trauma. Like I know people that was literally stuck in the hospital getting transplants, listening to Slippin' because that's the song that can push you through.
Yo, you know what's crazy about this song?
Amazing.
If you look at this song from the core, it's a dark kind of song, but it's inspired. It's motivational,
Very.
but dark.
So much.
And you know what's crazy? When I heard the news, I remember I was in Walmart, and I picked up my phone, and that's when I seen the news that like DMX officially died. Right. And the first thing I did
Was play Slippin'.
Play Slippin'.
Yeah.
I said I need to play Slippin'.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I did.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
about right.
damn, X
That's about right.
died.
Yeah,
Let me
that
put
was-
on Slippin', and I literally put on Slippin' and ran it back like 3 times. And that was my zone. I was in like, damn, this is my song. And this when I want to think about DMX and his essence, Slippin' is the first song I go to.
Yeah.
Like this is him and his ore and all of his greatness right here.
That was the real version. That was really he took you through his journey.
Yes.
It took us.
This not his friend's life. This not a life he's seen through the window.
Yep.
This is his story. His story, he got a book that he released way back years ago called Earl. if you read this book, this is a powerful book, man. He talks about his come up, and this dude, he been through some stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking about sleeping on the roof.
Yeah.
Like, he really only had his dogs. Like, he ain't lying.
Yeah.
Like, he used to have dogs on the roof with him. He used to rob people with dogs. He ain't have a crew. He used to rob people with dogs.
Swiss was with him sometime.
Run up on you with his dog.
Swiss used to tell you he was with him sometime.
Yo.
Tears.
Break real quick.
He used to live in abandoned buildings and all of that, man. So, man, classic song, man.
Absolutely.
Classic song. All right, track number 11, we got No Love For Me featuring Drag On and Swiss Beats, produced by Swiss Beats.
This when I was skating.
This
when I was skating.
Now, this the second single right here. This the second single of the album.
And this was the introduction to Drag On.
Drag On is like his little brother, and he gave him the alley-oop.
Yes, he did.
And Drag On ran this song.
He did.
He ran this song.
Yes, he did.
I had a lot of. Never mind.
He was supposed to be he was supposed to be next up.
I'm not gonna play with Drag On. If Drag play back. I don't want no smoke.
Yeah. Drag On real.
This is a single kind of beat. You know, it's a Swiss kind of bouncy beat.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great little party record. It was what this was the was this a skate joint? Ty, was this the skate ring joint? Right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, nice little video, little video for this.
The backwards joint.
So no, we front with all in with this.
We get it.
This is Ellesmere, though, mind you. This is Ellesmere in Wilmington, Delaware. This is Ellesmere when the skating rink was popping.
Highlight of the year.
Yeah.
The skating game.
DJ Brand probably was in the booth, but I'm just saying.
You could also get the skating rink turned out. Be
This
careful.
was after I retired.
Stay woke.
I was done. I was
I
done
ain't
around
mad
this
at
time.
you.
Yo, Drag On found a nice pocket on this song too.
did.
Yes, he
found a
did.
nice pocket
Yes, he did.
on
Yes, he
this
did.
song. He was going in.
Hell yeah.
Like, he definitely took his moment and he shined on here.
Well, Drag On could rap. Like Drag On was.
Yeah, he could.
like,
Drag On could rap.
got into a
He
state.
could rap.
I think he had a
Why did they have Swiss' real name though?
Real what?
They had Swiss' real name on this one.
Because I don't know.
He Swiss Beats everywhere else, but on this song it was Cassim.
Somebody probably, had a conversation with him.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah, reach out to us, Swiss. We want to know why you put your real name on this track.
Well, if you give us that interview, we can find out.
Yeah, we can find out. Huh? We still waiting.
We still waiting, bro.
7 years later, we still here, Swiss.
Swiss pop out once every 10.
We still waiting, bro.
He might need to pop out with us. Fuck it.
All right, track number 12, we got Dogs for Life, produced by Dame Grease. This is the only song Dame Grease produced on this album, and that's interesting because he produced a majority of the first album.
Facts.
So that says a lot about the change in
Yeah.
the sound. But Dogs for Life, man, is this a filler, Fricks?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite songs on the album.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of my favorite joints.
How did this? Why?
That's why it's not a filler.
It was just so. It was just
I wonder
so.
why it's a favorite.
It was just so dark, and
It's context.
Wow.
I am who I am till I die. If you accept it, don't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? But around this time, man, we had a little strong click. So he was like, "Yo, you my dog, you my dog." You know, DMX started, that's my dog
still
right
with
there.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, Robin's still with you.
1,000% valid. Yeah.
Blood, where's my dog?
Where's my dog?
My dog.
1,000% sure.
Yeah, it was.
I can see this.
It was a
I can
strong
see this
cut
is
for
this
the
is a brotherhood type.
Yeah,
song.
it's a brother on time.
It
Yeah.
is. It is.
You know what this probably did for you from the gate? When I think of, I just love when a nigga, like when I think of his, like he got, or my niggas, excuse me, like it's like that to me. My niggas, some niggas that you don't want to try. Like to me, it's that same energy of it's the squad. Watch yourself.
But instead of like the aggressive energy,
the layer
and
of
instead of like the aggressive energy, this is more like heartfelt. Like,
Right, absolutely.
You know, I'm still
How
with
you
you.
lay.
Absolutely.
Ride till we die.
Yep.
It's more like a more heartfelt version of like, yo, my dogs, man.
Yeah,
Right.
Instead of my niggas, like, yo, my
Right.
dogs. Like,
Yeah.
you know, went from
And he
more
might have
heart-
only been talking about Boomer. That's the wildest part. Facts.
Ooh, here we go. Track number 13, Blackout, featuring The Lox and Jay-Z, produced by Swiss Beats.
This is it right here, baby.
My boy coming from the break. I used to have bad luck.
Now you might see me in a Jag truck.
Messed up, even with Dime
Or
or
a
Bad
bad
Duck. He with the matching bandana.
Yeah.
38 slug, glue steel with no hammer.
Uh-huh.
And I see you niggas trying to glance at the kids
Hey.
because I walk around
With your whole advance on my wrist.
boning your women, drunk off Coronas and lemon. Still writing the mean, lighting
Like
the
your
green.
TA.
I'm buggy, even though I look right in the beam. Sons find out it's my team and boost their bells.
Yeah.
Try to boost their sales. Well,
For me, it was.
this was it.
For me, it was just a matter of the
Boost they
line.
sales.
Jay-Z, that's it. Like,
This
was
song
messy.
heavy, man.
Who got the hottest verse on here?
Easy for me. Easy for me. Easy for me. Who you think I'm gonna say? I'm a monster. I sleep whole winters, wake up and spit summers. A ghetto nigga. Putting up Will Smith numbers. What? Surrounded by sixes and hummers. Bitches
among us.
Trying not to let this bullshit become us. What?
It started from hunger.
It all went insane.
no question. I ain't even gonna fight.
Yo,
Wait,
he got on
who
here.
you got?
He said, chicks, I twisted, see the digits unlisted.
The beep of
The change, you dead bitch, the reaper done came. I suggest you stop speaking my name.
Because trust me, you can
Y'all
still
do not feel the heat and the rain. Oh my goodness.
Yo, he got on here like a Don.
Hold on. But Ty don't got Jay. I need Ty's pick.
I don't. So
Okay.
and no, I'm gonna be fair. So like I said, I listened to this album and it's one of those instances where I don't have really a favorite. It's just like I hear what I hear and I know how it makes me feel. I've been saying this for forever. When I came on the concert crew for a minute, that's what I'm listening for.
So
but I do like the bars of it, and if I'm being honest, it's like one of those things. I was just a young boy, so I ain't been to a point where I dissected this specific song or this specific track. I'm being honest.
That's deep.
But I know Locks and Jay-Z. I don't gotta question that. I ain't even.
Okay.
He said
That's
LOX get respect like Sonny from Bronx Tale.
And I heard it before, yeah. Like, but I don't. Yeah.
My favorite joint is J Flow for pesos. Chase hoes not. I just circle around in the block and then drop. Tell them jump through the top where the sunroof used to be. I can tell y'all not used to me. Floating like none other. I'm the meanest, done better than gun butcher. I'm the type to get shot, none of the guns touch you. I'm the type to get excited when the guns touch you, motherfucker.
Yeah, that was
You crazy?
Yeah, I especially so when I think about that song specifically, that crew record, right, was so Hard Knock Life ended. I want to say it was either Hard Knock Life or Volume 3. There's one when we got introduced with Beanie Siegel. So
Reservoir Dogs.
So I probably even take to it because I think of it as crew cuts. So I start to compare where those crew records came, and it was the second
Flaunting the convertible Bentley. Tell them jump through the top.
So then, not only that, this was probably the third or fourth time we heard Jay and X together.
Yeah.
Like so, and every time you hear Jay and X, at least for me, every time I heard Jay and X together, it was who gonna get who. It was all there's like Money Cash Hoes was the last year I mean. And now we here? Okay.
Can I say this? Woo. Can I say this? It may be controversial to X fans, but the way Jay killed this track, he ain't closed the song though, and it was a drop off.
Wow, that was petty. That was petty. That was petty. Nobody ever acknowledges
Hold
that.
on, drop off meaning. Hold on, drop off
because the
like,
song ends with DMX.
The song ends with DMX, and after Jay's verse, it was a drop off. Not saying his verse was whack. I'm just saying
I'm headed nowhere fast.
He didn't carry it.
Don't do that. My nigga snapped though.
He didn't carry it. No, I'm not saying DMX's verse was whack, but the way
I get what you're saying.
The way the Locks and Jay was talking on here, particularly, I ain't even gonna say that Chic verse ain't whack neither, but I'm gonna really say the way Jay, because I think Jadakiss is first. I think Jay-Z is first. I think Jadakiss is second. I think Styles P is 3 on here.
I agree.
And I think DMX is 4. I think Chic is 5. I hate to always say Chic is last, but
I like Chic verse kind of a little bit better though, man.
DMX,
Just a little bit.
I think DMX's verse is kind of short also to close. to be a closer.
That's why I didn't give him that.
It's kind of
edge over
short
shit.
for a closer. I think he should have ran that more for it being his album and coming on last.
He should have did a Drake on Rick Ross.
Well, what other side of this is, again, even DMX is on the Dark and Hell is Hot, the crew cut. The Locks, the only difference in this record, and the fact that they said shot to each other is interesting. But the difference in this record from Niggas That Started Something is Jay got switched out for Mace. Never think about that, but they had the same crew cut is on both albums. The difference is Jay from
Styles P talk heavy on this joint
Styles
too.
P talking real heavy on here.
But hold on, is Styles P on more than one track on this album?
Yes.
Yes, rapping.
Right, okay, so that's what I heard. It's the other one, yeah.
He's the only he's the only rapper on here.
The other one that I
he
heard.
only rapper on here that got more than one verse. He got two verses.
That's
on
the
here.
other one I remember.
That says a lot. This is a underrated posse cut.
Yeah.
This album this posse cut don't
Went
really
over
come.
some people say
it don't really come up in the posse cut conversations.
Right.
But
What's better, this or Niggas That Started Something?
niggas have started something as a song.
Okay. Hey,
Nigga,
I'm just asking.
As a song,
No
as a
talking
song, niggas have started something. They all carried it to me.
Okay.
And it's just about, I don't know, that beat hard. That beat hard. That beat hard. But Jay was talking so heavy on this song.
I think Jay knew
He
who
separated himself.
Well, let's be clear.
To me, he separated him. He came on here like this was his song to me.
He came
Like,
on
he
here like he
owned the
was
song.
going with against the nigga that they say is better than him.
Yeah, he did.
Like that's what happened.
He was battling. He was battling.
He know they keep saying
He got
X is
on here.
better
He
than
got
him.
on here like I'm that nigga,
Yeah.
and that's how his bar sounded. Like I'm that nigga. Don't get it confused. I'm that guy.
That's
And I ain't
He
gonna
let
lie,
you know.
He kind of needed.
He said, "I'm a ghetto nigga putting up Will Smith numbers,
What?
surrounded by sixes and hundreds, bitches among us, trying not to let this bullshit become us.
but
It started from hunger. Come on, man.
but let's be real.
Starting like
Jay-Z had to do that at that time because we're fresh off a Hard Knock Life.
Young Yosh.
he did it.
Because we're fresh off a Hard Knock Life, and again, remember the comparison was him or Jay, and honestly, Jay was trying to separate himself from the rap like everybody. Then this was going after Hard Knock Life too. He had the biggest album, biggest joint in his album. You know what I'm saying? He got nominated for the Grammy for that joint. Like this was Jay saying, "Nah, I am better than X. Stop playing with me." And I don't know if it is that way in people's minds, but I think that's what Jay was trying to say.
Nah, facts. Nah, this was a great this is the low key, the great posse cut, man. It holds its own. So track number 14, we got a title track, man. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, produced by Swiss Beats.
It's interesting. I wouldn't like the
Flesh
song.
of my flesh, blood of my blood.
I wouldn't like that beat now, but at the time,
You don't want to hear my take on this. Go ahead.
really, don't do that. Why?
This ain't my favorite.
It ain't nobody's favorite, but it's not nobody's work. Like it's not bad.
Okay, I was just curious to hear what Freak.
It's not my favorite. I ain't gonna call it. I ain't gonna say it's bad.
Let's not spend a lot of time here.
Wait. You know what, Ty? I think you're right. Freak.
Dum, da, dum, dum, da, dum,
I want to hear
dum,
what Freak
I wanna
said.
hear what you- Don't give me the beat. Give me the words. What you got? What do you think?
It's a filler, man.
Wow.
Surprised it made the album.
The title track. He said the title track is a filler. He's surprised that the title track made the album. It's the title
So
track.
It should have been better.
is that both now and
God damn. That's
like, is
Henny.
that
Y'all.
both then and now?
He's clearly
That's
sipping
both?
Henny. That nigga's going hard.
I'm just being real. Then you go to the next song, and then
I think it
it
fits
just
like
don't
it was
add
supposed
up.
to.
Like, where did that song fit in at?
Let me ask you this. You didn't like the song? You
Well,
didn't
it's
like
named as the title out. It's the title song.
you didn't like
It
the
was
song?
a bad situation, man. To me,
Wait, you didn't like the song or the production? Or everything?
a little bit of both.
So you feel like it just should have like they probably
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. Coming off blackout,
so they
stop it.
did something like just different.
Should have went straight to Heat.
All right, well,
The Heat is
track number 15, we got track number 15, we got Heat, produced by Swiss Beats. The heat is on. Oh yeah, niggas.
That's what I'm saying. That should have came
The
right
heat
after
is
Blackout.
on. Niggas banging. Yo, this beat is crazy. I like this beat. That's
What?
Swiss Beats did
That
on
beat
here.
is crazy.
This
Yeah,
beat
that
is
was wild.
crazy.
It's wild.
This beat crazy.
Heat is
man.
on. All my
wild.
niggas ready to fly.
What stuck out to me about Heat
niggas
was
ready to
for it to
die.
follow
Heat
like
is on.
it gave me the same feeling. The
Heat
boom, boom,
is
boom,
on.
open the door.
Heat
ATF,
is
like
on.
the
You
story
know
of
me.
it
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
clear and so gutter. Like it was like, yo, this nigga's talking.
Yeah, that's
He's really telling me a story.
Yeah, this is definitely a storytelling joint. But this beat, I feel like Swiss got busy on this beat, man. This beat crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all feel like he was redeeming himself from frustration? Never mind.
Jeez. All right, and then that leads to track 16, Prayer 2 / Ready to Meet Him, produced by Swiss Beats.
Right.
go.
On the fight.
So he did his prayer, which is like his thing that he's been known for all his albums. He did his prayer, and then he goes right into Ready to Meet Him, man, which is him talking to God, man.
Can I say that? All right, so and maybe Carl might feel me on this. Maybe not.
Okay, what you got?
But when I'm ready to meet him, I heard this and I'm listening. I'm like, all right. The energy and the mood, it's like polar opposites. This and Tell Him from Lauryn Hill. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. Like this and then Tell Him from Lauryn Hill was just like polar opposites. Where it's
That's a deep comparison.
That is. I don't expect you to go there. Okay.
It's balance and like, and that's just how I be looking at music, because words is
That's
not
an artist
to
for
be
you.
underestimated.
That's a
you
rapper
feel what I'm
artist
saying?
for you.
Like it's not to
that's
be
dope as hell.
underestimated. And Ready to Meet Him and then Tell Him. Where we going with this?
You right.
That's
bro.
how I look at it.
I
And
can't. I will
like-
not rebuttal that.
Like I ain't gonna hold
And
you,
on
like,
some real shit, I'm gonna be real with you. I think you might have made me like that song just a little bit more.
I appreciate that, but I'm being for real, and that's just my heart.
Tell Him
speaking, and, like,
Tell Him is one of my joints, first of all. But Tell Him is one of my joints, and I definitely get the God feeling that it is. But I'm gonna take this a polar opposite, and go the sinister opposite of this of a song like this, and I'm gonna go with my guy Biggie's Suicidal Thoughts.
Yep, that's where this take me. That's
That
exactly
too.
what it
That's a dark side of Ready to Meet Him.
Yeah.
Because if you really listen to this song,
Yeah.
you could kind of say they may be saying the same thing.
They are.
Just in different ways. Biggie's was just real aggressive and to the point, and it was just sinister, like it was the worst of the worst. But DMX is kind of, I'm ready to meet him.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
They came with the ruckus.
Which is why he needed the prayer. Like he was like, especially like, here's how the totality of this album, right? It goes so dark, right?
Right.
Between just how crazy he kind of gets and how hectic he gets, right? With it. So this is where, especially if you get to those first two albums, by this point, all right, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Maybe I went too far. Okay, you know what? If it's my time to go, fuck it, because I get it. I've done too much, and that's kind of what I got from just where that.
But you also gotta, you gotta understand, like, you know, he was struggling with addiction at this time. Maybe we didn't know as fans, but he was struggling with serious drug addiction at this time. So he battling a lot of demons, man.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's how I'm looking.
So he like, Lord, you know what I'm saying? Take me. I need to get up out of here because I can't handle this.
Can't live this
now
way.
I got this fame, but then I got these demons at the end of the day. Like, I'm ready to meet him, man.
Yep. And
I'm going to say my
I
prayer.
was already a stick-up kid.
Right.
Like, I got a lot on my spirit.
Right. He has, DMX is a deep dude. He's not no regular rapper. He's not no regular rapper that's just making up stuff to sound good for people to consume. Like, this dude had a lot of layers to him, man. Good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, he was a complete person. He was a real dude.
Yep.
Like, for real. Whoa, man.
That's why I made it.
So that ended the album. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood debuted on the Billboard 200 at #1 and stayed there for 3 consecutive weeks with over 670,000 units shipped in the first week, week 1. DMX became the second artist to have 2 albums released in the same calendar year, debut at #1 on the Billboard 200. Tupac was the first artist with All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli, but DMX is the first artist to do it alive.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yes.
Wow, so Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, what would y'all say the impact of this album was when it hit?
A tidal wave.
Yeah, because he came back at us, and it was kind of fast. And I think we said, this
7 months.
earlier. But when he came back so fast, man, and then it wasn't trash.
Right.
or it wasn't.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
no,
saying?
it wasn't trash. There no sophomore slump.
Yeah.
Like, you normally have a sophomore slump. And in the same year?
It was like, wow.
What?
Like, yo, this motherfucker's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I got.
I'll say for me, it hit in a way, like I said before, he was already saying stuff you couldn't say, right? To me, there were prequels to Eminem. When I say prequels, like people just saying shit that was like, how are you going to...
shit.
That's Freak's guy right there.
Stop it.
There's 7 different levels. Never mind.
Oh, man, on the DMX episode. Jeez.
All I'm saying is, before M, you had, again, Confessions of Fire was heavy on topics that went dark, and then you get this album. I Just Love, one of the songs, I don't think you care for too much, but on that I Just Love record, he starts off, his first line is, I got blood on my hands and there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick because I fucked the corpse. I was 14. You were 11, sir. I said, what the hell am I listening? You can't say that in a song. Like, what? And he did it. And he was like, so what? And this was the album where it was like, so nigga, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I don't care. It's like, all right.
I agree, man. This album was big because it wasn't no sophomore slump. And he delivered. Like,
absolutely.
Leor Cohen made him that offer, and most artists would have put out an album and it may had a couple good singles on there, but it wasn't really a complete album or even a classic album. So for him to come right back and produce an album of this quality in that short period of time, like sometimes people need 2 years or something to even make another classic. For him to lock in that short period of time and still produce an album of this quality, that says a lot about him as an artist, man. He wasn't no sophomore slump in an era of a lot of sophomore slumps.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. He was able to put out an album that not only sold a lot of records, but had great album cuts on there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Had songs for the streets on there, had party records, and it came together, and it still was a dope body of work, man. That says a lot. Impact was big. People was feeling X.
People was crying, man.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted.
Was this when he became a household name, or did it?
No, he was a household name first album.
So.
Yeah,
but this just took it.
It was like, stop playing.
This just took him out of here.
It took him to another level.
This took him all the way out. This made him.
I was skating.
He was a hip hop star the first album.
I was skating.
He was a hip hop star the first album. This album, with the Marilyn Manson type stuff, it took him outside of hip hop. Like, yo, this dude's just a star. Period. Then he got the movie element of it. He's a star. He out of here. He ain't just a rapper no more.
And it also solidified Rough Riders.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, as the crew, like, granted, it's the same artist twice, but remember, Rough Riders didn't have the compilation yet. Rough Riders didn't have Locks yet, but we knew who Rough Riders was. Okay, they had 2 albums. They both was X.
There is no Rough Riders without DMX.
Absolutely.
DMX got Rough Riders a deal. He was signed to Def Jam.
Yep.
Rough Riders is.
Yeah, DMX got Rough Riders a deal. He made a place for Eve, for the Locks when they came from Bad Boy, for Drag On, for the compilation, for Swiss Beats. Right. All that comes from DMX. The double R.
Parlay. Shouts out to Parlay.
Oh, stop it.
Why can't I shout out Parlay?
Come on, dog.
They did a... No.
They had one song.
Okay, shout out to Young One.
Oh, my God.
No?
And Jin, the Chinese boy, too. Stop it, man.
Why can't I shout him out? Like, why can't we show love?
Reaching, man. Shout out to all of them.
Okay, fine. My song.
My son, Lefty.
Got up in the right palm.
He wasn't officially signed to Rough Riders. So he was on the compilation.
So nobody, I can't give none of that.
The girl Lee Mason trying to get out of her deal right now with Rough Riders.
Yo, you know who my son was signed to?
Violator.
But you know who he was down with though? Their characters may not even, you would think they kind of different, but Mace. My son was down with Mace.
Not to me, not Murder Mace. Not Murder Mace, it don't make sense.
Yeah, either one.
Mace, my son was with Mace.
Well, he was Children of Corn? Was that Children of Corn?
No, not back then.
This is with Violator.
But my son on his second album.
Oh, he on Harlem World?
No. The second album.
Mace's second album was Harlem World.
Get Ready.
That's Harlem World.
No,
his second album is called
His first album is called Harlem World.
What was the second album?
Then he had Harlem World, the group.
Oh yeah, what was the second album
The
called?
second album, I don't even remember.
Shouts out to anybody who listened to Makes the second album, yo.
I listened to it, but it ain't the greatest.
Show
That
the
shit
day.
was real quick.
We have access to the internet and nobody's looking it up.
That's when I knew it was over.
The single was Get Ready.
No. Okay, cool.
Get ready.
Tonight.
Whoa.
Yeah, shouts out. Like, don't like. Listen, he left.
He clearly. I'm gonna get the last name. It was Double Up.
Good for it.
It was Double Up.
It went single.
You gotta
Look,
relax.
don't do
Gotta
this. We
relax.
ain't gotta do this. I like me.
Nah, but DMX was Rough Rider. DMX
Yeah.
made Rough Riders. He
Yeah.
got him a deal, put him on the map, made him popular. So let's get this out the way. It's flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, not going back and forth. Yay or nay? Is it a classic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nay.
Whoa.
You's a motherfucker.
Nay.
I respect. Well, that's fair because you got the first one.
Why not?
Can I ask the first one?
Because the first one was a classic, and this is not better than the first one to me.
So does that make it not a classic?
When I think about it has you know what? It has songs on here that make it part of the classic conversation, but I don't think this is a classic album.
Freaks.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna call you all the way bluff on here based off your history on this podcast. Because if you mean to tell me that you gonna call an album like Locke's first album
No.
classic,
Money, Power, Respect is a
but
classic.
I said it classic times. I never called that album a
Here
classic.
you go remixing
I
stuff.
said that's a classic. The album came out, which made it during like a classic time, but it's not a. You never heard me say that album's a classic. The album's not a classic.
I heard you.
I went back and listened to that album because I was getting ready for this episode, just hitting them that 90s groove, and that album's not a classic. This album's not a classic to me.
Is Juvenile
It's a
400
good album.
Degrees classic?
Absolutely.
But
This
this
album
album
better than 400 Degrees, bro.
You may say that.
That's why. That's exactly
It
why I
wasn't
used it.
changing. It wasn't changing the game like 400 Degrees. 400 Degrees changed
He
the
already
game.
changed the game. He can't change
On
it
the
no
first
more.
album, which made it a classic.
I think
This
this
album's not a classic
I
to
think
me.
this album's a classic.
You know what you sound like? You sound like when.
I'm not taking nothing from it. This album has classic moments on it. I agree.
You sound
but
like
I just think that it's a few blips on here. 4 to 5, maybe 4 strong.
4 to
5.
4 to strong blips, man. That took me out of the classical talk. Because when you say classic, you talk about bona fide classics. Like things that change the game. I don't think this album changed the game.
Let me ask you this: was it not a classic for you, but you recognize that the world sees it like one, and it's just not in your book?
Nah, I think that this album has classic songs on it.
But you don't think
I
that the
will not
world
change
recognizes this as a classic? The world?
Absolutely, because you know why? You know what this album made, DMX?
Here you go. I see you.
I'm just gonna be real. You know what this? One word to describe DMX after this album:
What?
Universal. Because he was able to touch all crowds with this album.
So then that's a classic.
Nah, that don't make
That
it a
changed the
classic.
game.
But,
That literally
okay,
changed
alright.
his persona.
Nah, it changed him as a rapper. It changed him, put him in a
because
different
it's
light.
that great.
Real quick, just as an artist, and it don't take away like
I'm not taking nothing away from this album.
But so it's
I didn't see this coming.
it's
I didn't see this coming at all.
expansion of who you are as an artist. So it's like if I give you the same thing I gave you the first time, you really gonna shut me down. It's gonna be like, I heard that. I did this. I did that. Da, 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 da.
I get what
It's
you're
like-
saying.
So, and for as context wise, and it's hard now, even these days, to listen to something in its entirety, because these was like what,
concur.
an hour 20, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nowadays it ain't like that. You might get 40 minutes.
I got a question for you, for all y'all, and let's be real.
Here we go.
When you play this album and you listen to it several times, because you know when you listen to it several times, you start going to shit that you like. True. How many times you hit the skip button on this album?
Oh no, I listened to this album all the way through. But
I can listen to the album all the way through.
I can too.
Yeah.
I'm be honest, and it's fair because I ain't really skipping nothing.
I'm not really skipping a lot. So
But no, to your point, Freaks, I get what you're saying. It's just I think it's in. I don't like, but I like to listen to the album, and I just don't have to skip it. I think that's what I'm saying. I don't gotta skip it.
it's a general energy. This album to me, like it's hard to skip anyway. Now, what I will say to you, and I don't know if you factor this in, part of it being a classic in my brain is that it's number 2 after It's Dark as Hell Is Hot, and you came back this hard. Like It's Dark as Hell Is Hot. Like put like this, if It's Dark as Hell is Hot doesn't exist.
So it wasn't a flop. So that's what made it a classic.
Flop.
No, I'm just saying.
that.
You basically.
So you put the
I'm
bottom
not
in the
calling
basement.
it a flop.
I didn't say that.
It's far from a flop.
Nah, yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
fair.
that you saying that you were surprised that it wasn't a flop due to the history of sophomore albums. That's what made it a classic.
What I'm saying is, in this album doesn't have Rough Riders Anthem. Right, Rough Riders Anthem came on that first album, and it kicked the door open. Like, oh, you see me here, right? This doesn't have that,
and
kind
a lot
anthem.
of other shit on there.
True.
There's a lot of shit on here too, but
I like that first album.
Yeah.
I mean, Slippin' is better than Rough Riders Anthem. The first album doesn't have a Slippin', period, not even close. So like this is where
I agree with that.
So it's different. You. That's why it leads to that space, to that world. Like it's a continuation, if you will.
I get that.
Slippin' kind of remind me. Well, Slippin' is deep, but I'm saying like the substance of the song structure reminds me of the song where he was talking about the girl. And shit.
How's it going down?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see it in the
like the structure. Of
I can see it in the structure.
The structure of it, not
because it's such a clear. It's such a
Yeah.
clear picture.
Yeah,
But it still don't hit this way. Like
So never mind, yo. I need you to go. Take the snow up to 150. See, Joe, get that.
Plus-
Come back with that. We can split that.
Actually, now that I think about it,
I said don't.
that's a linear story.
I just don't get that, though.
I get the feel of it that you mean, because it's a very airy feeling, and it's
Nah, I
like you
can't
kind
go
of
with you
see
on
it,
that, Ryan.
but it's
That was
still
deep.
not as good as
That was
this.
deep.
And that's
you
all
ain't never been in love with a woman that belonged to somebody else.
I get that, but
That's
what you
deep.
got to do with Slippin'
Now he's selling it to
I'm
you.
just being. You sold the other shit to me earlier.
I think, what I think though is, to what I feel, freaks, is like it's almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like you hear It's Dark and Hell is Hot, you hear that whole album, and then you hear this, which is still great, it's solid, but I don't know, I just feel like Freeze got that in his personality. Like, come on, bring some more.
You gotta be
like,
as good as the first one.
and I don't knock that.
I'm not going to
because,
say that.
like,
I'm not going to say you got, because it's hard. Like that first album is a hunger, and there's something different about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it just was. It came, and I'm not going to say it went, but it had some shit on here that made you go to the album.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? But as far as me throwing this motherfucker on immediately, like knowing, you know what I'm saying? And I had a hell of a, because you got to realize this year right here was crucial. Yeah. And I had a hell of a selection that I was listening to.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be real with you. This was one of them albums that I went to for songs that made me feel
The way that you want it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that Blackout was.
This was this.
This
okay.
album. I went to for songs, not for the album.
Gotcha. I know. Fair.
All right,
what I'm
well, look. So, how would you describe the sound? How would y'all describe the sound of Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood? If you could describe the sound of this album.
Like I said, to me, it was a continuation of It's Dark as Hell is Hot. It's still
Really?
that aggressive feeling. It still spoke to you. It still went deep. Like, it's almost like a book. Like, I could put them side by side. They go together that well to me.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
Really?
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one because It's Dark and Hell is Hot was produced by Dame Grease and Majority.
You a DJ?
And I feel like the sound was darker on his It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Right.
I feel like the Swiss Beats only had one song. It just was a hit on the first album. He produced most of this album, like a big chunk of it. And when Swiss Beats is hitting, he hitting, but then he got some bouncy, colorful type joints on
He made
there.
party records.
To
He
where
had party
even though DMX's lyrics are darker, because the production is kind of different, it automatically kind of makes it more commercial to me.
Right, that's
than the
nice.
first album.
Which put him in that word that I
But
was
the
talking
first album was darker, but it just
Kept him on the edge.
People accepted
Right.
his darkness. To me, it was like Swiss Beats
Let me get these
production.
crackers.
Swiss Beats production put a gloss a little more
Right.
over his darkness.
So that's the. I'm sorry. That's
Go ahead,
the
go ahead.
piggyback what I was saying about, like, that's. I'm an artist, so that's the part where
I agree.
for me it pushes. All right, that's because
Absolutely.
you know what I mean. Like, you still, I feel like on this album DMX still was himself and he crossed over.
Yep.
Right.
I get it. I give it to you.
And that's not easy.
In that same
But
space.
I think sonically, sound wise, I don't think they're the same sound wise.
I get it.
No,
I
for
get it.
sure. Yeah,
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
that
get
too.
it.
Yeah.
I took the feel as kind of, but then like as a writer myself, that's probably why I go to how it felt like a continuation, because pen wise it's a continuation, but sound wise you're right, because now we start having party records that we didn't get, right? You know, you didn't have the party records on the first album only got lucky to be party records. You wasn't supposed to dance to those. You know what I'm saying? Like these was like, oh, this beat is you supposed to skate to this. You're supposed to bop to this.
I got one more gem. The first album is Dark and Hell is Hot. Most of them songs on there, he wrote years ago.
Right.
And he just rapped them over those beats for the album. The rhymes were old. This album, he actually had to go and write new songs.
Yeah.
So he had the first album songs since early 90s, some of them songs. He was taking lyrics from different lines in his rhyme book. And making them songs. So most of them rhymes were already around. A lot of them songs were already done when he got signed.
So
that explains the album.
This is an album of new material, pretty much.
Yeah, this is
that explains why that first album was such a heat.
Because a lot of people say in the industry, like your first album, you make your first album your whole life.
Right.
He literally did that. Because them songs were old. Them rhymes were old. He just found the right beats for his rhymes. Yeah. These were new rhymes and new beats, which makes it a little different. Right. That's a little, little fun fact out there.
That's why I said it was hard.
How, coming off of It's Dark and Hell is Hot, he comes with Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Like, now it's years later now. We 25 years later of both of these albums. Like, how do they stand? Do they stand next to each other? Do they stand alone?
Yeah, they stand next to each other.
Is it like they drop off, or they like brothers? Sisters, cousins? Like,
I think one hold the other up. And I think they stand next to each other because of the way that they drop. And he was still real, and it was still raw. It's just that first one was. It's Dark as Hell and Hot. It's crazy. Yeah.
I think
there's no explanation of that.
It's Dark and Hell and Hot is special because it just started the movement. Yeah. But I think this album is a nice continuation of the success off the first album. But they're not the same album though. But you can't be that first baby. Like you can't. You can't
never gonna happen.
Plus his introduction, even like I mentioned Pull It, but the world's introduction to him was What's My Name. That's when most people got it. And remember that video was banned, and it was banned from him standing on stage in a black and white room rapping. Like there's no reason for that.
You mean Get At Me Dog?
Yeah, Get At Me Dog. Excuse me. Yeah. Like that got banned, and that was how the world got introduced to this to him. And it was like, yo, he's so. So when you hear Dark and Hell is Hot, it was such a I didn't know you could be this disrespectful. Right. Like I didn't know that like you heard rappers rap about robbing people, but not like this before. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to get caught in the dark with him.
It was in and out.
Very.
He can stand. I think the first album can stand alone, and if this was not to take place, but we were lucky to get 2 in 1 year.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about it.
I do feel like they stand together on purpose. Like I don't feel like I can think of this album without thinking of It's Dark and Hell.
I can.
Like I look at them both kind
of
connected.
But I can.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it connects. Like for me, I connect both of these. Like it's like all right, they go to.
All right. So what's your favorite song on Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood?
I cried listening to Slippin'.
To me, it's easily Slippin'. Slippin' is not only
Slippin' was that ghetto love, that motherfucking struggle.
I just felt that song. Like I still, if I play that song, like I might close my eyes. Like I just feel them on that song. Like it's not just my favorite song on this album. It's my favorite DMX song. Period. Yeah. And I told you, it's one of like the realest hip hop songs that we ever made. Like it's a great song. Like
top 100. I don't know where it's at in the 100. I just know it's top 100.
A lot of my favorite artists have them heartfelt songs in their discography or their song. Right. And that's his song to me. Like you know how Pac had them songs that just touch you. Like that DMX Slippin', that's that song, man.
Machiavelli.
I'll say it's for me. I do believe Slippin' is the best song. It's not my favorite. Right. My favorite is probably Damien as a writer, because the story, and then I didn't expect there to be a part 2. And what the fuck did you do to this? Like, and I don't count the third. So like. I just could not believe what I was hearing, and I was like, wait, I can see exactly. And growing up in the hood, you kind of get the influence of it all. It does. So but Slippin' is the best song he ever wrote. I ain't gonna lie.
But that Damien 2 was a creative ass song. For that time. That's a creative song.
Because he had to find a way to combat what? Because one was so dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was a dope. And to have and somehow include Marilyn Manson in it worked.
Yeah.
Because we wasn't listening to Marilyn Manson then.
Not at all.
So for him to include.
Knew of him.
For him, for him to, and he was wild. Like there was
That was
stuff
his
he was doing
artistry
back
showing
then.
though.
But DMX, he's covered in blood. DMX was in that same realm of wild. This is why when I go to your man M, I feel like these are the prequels. These are the prequels to Eminem.
Oh man,
These are the prequels to the dark side.
No.
Wrong compilation.
I didn't make it that dark. I'm just telling you, these are the prequels to the most successful artists of all time. There's a couple people who are some of the most successful rappers of all time. Jay is one of the most successful rappers of all time. DMX is. Snoop Dogg can be. Eminem is. So if we're going to do this,
No.
shouts out to Big Dr. Umi. You heard me?
Don't get Dr. Umar started.
That's my man. Listen. He's just one of the most successful artists of all time. Got influenced by another one of the most successful.
All right, don't relax, man. It's DMX episode.
He's sliding it in there too.
Back to Slippin', man.
Plug.
A great song. You had to throw Eminem. You had to throw Eminem in the DMX episode.
It clearly motivated them. Clearly.
All right, I'll give you that. But man, Slippin's a great song, man. Classic song, one of the best of all time for sure. Word. All right. How would you rank this album in DMX's discography?
Oh, number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with
that. Was easy.
Clearly number 2.
Yeah,
Clearly.
I feel like DMX albums come in the order that they came out.
But I'm gonna say this
Because I'm dark as hell is hot.
Because I'm a fan of this. Yeah, I agree. Because I'm a fan of this album. This album was just a little, a classic or two better than In There Was X. A classic or 2 songs.
Better, you said?
Yeah, probably. In There Was X was one. I liked the album.
Wait. You like Then There Was X better?
Nah. I'm just saying that this album was better, but it wasn't that much. Like it wasn't a landslide.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
All right,
Well, I think There Was X was a good album.
I'm gonna say, of course, As Dark as Hell is Hot, number 1. I'm gonna say Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood is number 2. I think in There Was X was strong single. It had some heavy singles on there,
yeah.
Heavy as far as the album, I think this album was a total album, more of a better album, cohesively, but and then There Was X had some heavy singles.
It did.
Big singles.
And then There Was X kind of remind me of Ja Rule, Vinny Vetti Vici joint.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I'm gonna be all real with you. Vinny Vetti Vici was all right, man.
Vinny Vetti Vici was all right, but then There Was X had some big singles.
Yeah. But you know, X make big singles though, Carl.
Shouts out to Grand Champ. Grand Champ was actually pretty fire too. I know. Don't do that. See why I can't.
This nigga, man.
Can't go with you on that, bro.
I can't like Grand Champ. We can't.
Yeah, you can.
We can't like a little Grand.
That's your X fan coming up.
Grand Champ was hard, yo. Y'all crazy.
Yo, this nigga G-Dash is crazy, man. You gotta let us.
I can't go with you on that ride, bro.
Grand Champ, and then There Was X was notching it just like
No. And then There Was X had What's My Name?
Yeah.
Party Up, which may be his biggest part. It's definitely his biggest party song.
Yeah.
And then What These Bitches Want.
Yeah,
that's 3 big singles.
It did. Look at Grand Champ. You're gonna come up with 2. I promise you're gonna come up with 2.
Come up with 2 for all his albums.
Listen.
Yeah, but I think they kind of in order into the fourth one.
No, that's not Grand. That's
Okay,
not
okay. I was close.
The fourth one, I'm gonna put the new one that's he passed away.
I agree. The Exodus was all right.
Yeah, Exodus was dope.
Even though
that's the one with Griselda on it.
Yeah.
Even though it was feature heavy.
Wait, can somebody give me the single? What's the singles on Grand Champ?
The singles on Grand Champ is Where the Hood At.
Where the hood.
And Get on the Floor.
Get it on the floor. Get it on the what? We was lit. Listen, if you was outside and Get It on the Floor came on, it was a good time.
Stop, G.
It was a fun time.
Get it on the floor. Get it on the floor. Party Up. Ain't even close.
Party Up got played out, so it's hard for me. That song. I like.
What's my name or where are my dogs at?
My dogs at. Where my dogs at?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, where the hood? I'm sorry, not where my dog.
hood-
Where the
They the
hood
same
at?
to me. Where the hood at? And what's my name? They the
Oh,
same to me.
stop it.
Where the hood?
What?
Where the hood? Yeah, they the same.
That beat on What's My Name? Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
Stop it. It ain't even close.
Just the intro as I'm talking.
Both of those songs is hard as hell. I don't know why we acting like like where the hood at wasn't something
Grand
different.
Champ and in there was X is not close.
Grand Champ, you sleeping on
but
you taking a little nap on
Yeah.
Grand
You
Champ.
reaching.
Taking a little nap on Grand
last-
Champ.
You reaching.
Yeah.
That's
the
X.
last
That's
one.
X over there.
It was-
Chill. That's the X fan.
Taking a
You
little.
reaching.
We
the
want to take
last
naps on Grand Champ.
All right, freaks. Speaking of reaching, this is the reaching point of the show. I'm gonna ask all y'all though: has any album came out in the past 25 years that remind you of Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood? It could be album or albums.
I'm lost, Carl, on this one.
You know, I normally reach, but I really don't.
I
got
can't
nothing.
reach on this,
But
man.
I'm gonna talk it out and see if something comes to mind.
I'm gonna
though.
say my only
What you
reason
got?
is
What you
saying
got?
no, well, my answer is no, but it's only because of how cohesive this album is. Like there's songs that
I agree,
like,
man.
like y'all can get songs with that are hard like this.
Yeah.
But everything about this like and it
Them
makes sense that he
posse
wrote
cut.
it in that space.
I
like,
can't find an album with a posse cut like this.
Right.
Oh, there's a couple of those.
I'm gonna try to talk it out and see if I can come up with something. So we got coming off of a classic album. We got the second album that wasn't a sophomore slump, and it was a great album,
Yeah, say
but
what you
it
want,
sounded a little different.
And it gotta still be aggressive. That's the hard
But it's
part.
still dope though. I'm trying to talk it out to see if something comes to mind, and I really don't. I normally reach, but I really can't think of nothing right now at the top of my head.
no, because nothing had that aggression to it.
That was hard.
That's the difference.
No.
But it was the second album, but it was dope. It wasn't as dope as the first album, but it was still like dope, classic. I don't know.
Because when you think of X, you can't put nobody in the category of X. So are you just talking album wise? And
and then they also,
because I got somebody that had a dope second album,
And also-
but it just the
who is
first
it?
one was classic, but it's not in the same realms of the X hardness, but it's dope.
who are you about to say? I think I know who you about to say. Who you about to say?
I'm gonna say Pieces of a Man, AZ.
I knew he was going to say
What?
that. I don't
What?
think that at all.
What?
though. I don't think that
You
at
don't
all.
mean that. You don't mean that. You don't.
That's
mean
a
that.
classic.
I ain't going to go with
So
that.
this is debatable, but Pieces of a Man is a classic.
Pieces of a Man
You're
is better
playing
than
with
this
me.
to me.
Piece of the Man is not a classic, but I like it.
I'm gonna say no, and I'm
And
gonna
I
tell
be
you why
saying
I'm
weird
saying
shit.
no. Like
I'm just saying.
because
I don't think that album's a classic.
It's not.
I say
knows it's
no.
It is.
I say no because I appreciate still DMX, and probably the time span that he was in on this album is him articulating with it. It's I'm
Don
doing it
Cartagena is
wrong.
the second album.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good. Nowhere near.
That's no comparison.
I'm just
Nowhere
saying.
near.
I'm-
It's hard
because it's X, you can't compare nobody to X. Is
I'm
what we
trying to find
saying.
something that's like hard, kind
Stop.
of
But
hard.
that-
You're not gonna find it.
But this is what I'm saying. It's
Not
it's
gonna
the
find it.
delivery of the message and everything he doing, like everything, like especially New Days. And I'm talking like what I'm used to. I'm not gonna say what is this and what's that. What I'm used to is how he delivered it. He's raw, and everything wasn't profanity and like a curse word.
I agree.
As raw as he is, but when you really listen, he be telling stories and he's using his vocabulary is there to portray and deliver the message that he wants to deliver. That's me. Like that's why I say it ain't nothing like that.
I also think that the way that it hit, if I look at time frame wise, what hip hop left New York maybe within 2 years after this album, easy. So it's you're not gonna get another thing like this because hip hop wasn't like after this album.
Yeah.
It's East Coast New York raw hip hop slimmed down heavy.
Yeah.
I really reached, but I was thinking about this and I couldn't really come up with anything.
You had
Like,
that shit written down the whole time.
no, I don't have nothing. I don't.
Okay, let's go on then.
I
'Cause
don't.
you
And,
read-
but I normally reach though, but I really
I have a
can't.
question.
What?
And see, I don't know if this second album does it for y'all. It didn't do it for me, but it might be for other people. The Massacre.
No.
A lot of people.
What
treat,
about it,
A
though?
lot of people treat 50 like his second album was a classic.
No, it's not.
Nah.
The Massacre is not a
Just
classic.
asking. A lot of people treat that album like it was a thing, like it did with it, like that
No,
was.
it sold a lot of records,
Yeah, it's
but
good
classic,
music,
it
like-
classic.
and it was hella aggressive. He killed everybody.
And not that candy shop.
I wouldn't be mad at that comparison with you trying to pull it off, but
The massacre and the flesh. Okay, that we going with massacre and flesh of my flesh.
absolutely
That's
not.
our reach. That's
Absolutely
our
not.
reach.
That's a long reach. That's a motherfucker.
But it still might still be the closest we got.
That's a socket arm. Is
It
that
could
his
be a
name?
long reach and still be the closest we
Dude on
got.
Street Fighter, what was his name with the long arms? Socket.
Again, give me something close to as aggressive as a second album.
After, then this is after.
After, it has to be
It
after.
gotta come after that.
Because truth be told, the
25
most
years.
the most aggressive album after would make
We
me
Are the
think of-
Streets. The Locks. But you know, that's a
Oh,
group.
that's actually a good one. That might be the. But see that that's
I like
still-
the album better than this album.
I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad at that.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah,
Even though that's a group, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah,
because Swiss Beats produced that album too.
Yeah.
But that album hard.
That
And I agree. I do like We Are the Streets better than Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I agree with you on that one.
Is We Are the Streets a classic?
Yes.
Yes.
To me.
Yes.
To me.
It's their best album.
I know you're not about to disagree with that and go with Eminem. Like, stop it, dog.
Yo, leave my boy alone. Leave my boy alone,
I'm
man.
just saying,
It's 7 different levels.
Oh, man. Come on, man. Stop it.
I'm just saying, did Jadakiss watch Jay-Z? Because they say that Eminem did.
All right,
Come on,
no more DMX, man. I mean, no more Eminem. All right. 25th anniversary of Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. What's the legacy of this album 25 years later, man?
Man, I would have to say quick return. Quick return to me. I think, like, yo, this is probably one of the fastest return by an MC in the same year, and for it to be a chart-selling album and still keep the people attention. This is a quick return, good album, man. Good album, DMX. He represented off on this album, put him at the top for that year.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I had to go back and forth between this and Volume 2, I'm gonna pick Volume 2. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
That's a debate.
But I just think that with him dropping this album the same year as all them albums came out, I just think that he went over Hove for that moment.
Yes.
But just the potency of Volume 2
For a couple moments.
put Hove at that level. Yeah. And like you said, G-Dash, it might have sparked the debate of them going back and forth on who gonna close during that tour.
This topped off a great year for him. Like, he was already like the biggest artist to me. But to drop this on December 22nd, it just capped off like just a great year, man. He became a hip hop superstar. This album, like Freak said, made him universal. DMX was a star among stars. Like, he shined.
Yes.
He shined. And this album was just a confirmation, like, oh, y'all thought the first album was a fluke?
Well, catch this motherfucker.
Nah. This ain't no game. I'm here. I'm a star. And 25 years later, like DMX is one of the most unique. I said this before when we talked about him, and even when he passed away, he's one of the most unique hip hop figures in hip hop history.
I concur.
Like, it's nobody like DMX.
I concur.
To me. I mean, I know people make like him and Pop comparisons, but when you really break DMX down, like, he is unique in his own way. Like, nobody like DMX. No.
And I'm not, and please don't take this with the highest comparison or whatever the case may be, but it's only one artist that's kind of after him that's in that frame to me that kind of capture this era or this eras that's kind of after us like that, and that's Meek Mill, man. I'm being all the way real with you.
I get that. I understand.
I'm being all the way real with you because the way Meek Mill captured these youngins.
It's the rawness of
Let's
it.
be real. And him being so raw.
I understand.
And his see, here you go, G-Dash. You're looking
You're
going too far. You're going too far into the whole look.
I love me.
I'm just thinking
down
the
to
powerful songs, the powerful meanings, the bars, the moments, him quieting the track down at moments so you can hear him because you know how he flow. I just think that's the only person that really is out there on that level like that. With me.
I'm personally just waiting on I'm hip hop cinema. I'm waiting on a series or something to tell this story So
Yeah, it got to be done right.
younger,
It got to be done
right.
right.
And
It
I
gotta
say
be done
that
right.
quickly because I tapped into Wu-Tang series on Hulu, but
Dope.
So that inspired just my vision of things when it comes to hip hop.
I don't.
This
Except that
it
RZA
could be
voice.
done.
Well, I'll say this: I don't know if we'll ever get the DMX story, or at least they're gonna have to change some, because you don't want to make him look like a bad person.
No,
Nah, you got to. It got to be raw.
It gotta be raw.
But he did
gotta
a
be
lot of
raw.
raw
But
stuff.
it
Like
gotta
just
be-
even the stories that he tells.
Like-
you read Earl. Like he himself says he did a lot of things that in this climate they judge you for it, like without realizing that you was just coming out of
And
poverty.
I get that, but as a person, as a
I would love
viewer,
to see it.
the
I would love to
distinction
see
you
it.
have to understand. Like I just want to bring people back to him, and at the same time, it's still got to be told right. But I just want people to come back to DMX story that are young.
Yo, that's actually
no.
T Harp. Now that you say that, that's actually dope. If I could see them doing, if they do the series, call that thing Earl.
Yeah,
And,
something like that.
But
exactly.
it gotta be the right people
Yeah.
to do it.
Exactly.
And our series would actually be better.
It would.
It would actually be
You know,
better than a
It
movie.
would have to be a series.
But the right people have to do it, though.
much.
The right people have
And
to
they
do
can't
it.
make it too long. It can't just my opinion.
I would
keep it
call
to-
that thing Earl,
Yep.
but the right people had to make it. But I agree, G-Dash, nah, they got to put everything
True.
in there.
True.
If they ain't putting
That's
everything
true.
in there, that's going to
That's
make
true.
it real. I want to see the
get it.
good and the
That's
bad.
I just know the
I wanna
climate in this world.
I
And
want to
this-
see when his, I want to see when his blunt got laced. I want to see all
Right,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
making
but-
it right. That's
I think we seeing that on, like, as far as hip hop sentiment go, I think we seeing some of those elements in there, and I think he got the span for it. Like, you can do that with him, man. I just want people to come back to the true story and the insight and wisdom.
Now
from
that would be
X.
dope. That would be dope if it's done right. If it's
Yeah,
done right,
for
though.
sure.
Well,
I agree with that.
I don't think Swiss
I
would let
agree
it
with
not
that.
be done right. Swiss
Yeah,
is very,
I
very
agree with
heavy
that.
in
I
whatever
agree with that.
happens. So I wouldn't be surprised if Swiss put something
Yeah,
together
I love it.
when he's ready.
Like,
for
why
his
would y'all
kids.
let one of the realest, rawest, uncut people come out and then try like sugarcoat his story? Nah,
Because they don't
tell it like it is.
Because the world don't flash back to his story like it used
I
to
concur.
now anyway.
I concur.
That's really why I
concur.
agree with you that it should happen. They just don't re-flash back to X. Period. To those raw parts. Like I think to be clear,
Right.
X's legacy is going to be slipping. That's going to be the one because that's the
Right.
one that's going to go through eras and ages. But they never gonna get into some of these album cuts. Is go way darker. Some of the stuff that he done did. Again, he was a stick-up kid. He was a stick-up kid.
I feel like it's ways to do it though, because I seen
It
a
is.
lot on
It
TV,
is.
and
It
that
is.
ain't.
It is.
It's creative people out here. And I did that.
I agree.
That ain't.
They had to dig into it deep.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I want it to happen.
Right.
I just,
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, 25-year anniversary, man.
We getting old, brother.
Woo! Another one. This ended a great year in hip hop, like we said, man. T Hart, man, you joined us, man.
Thank you.
The MC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of stuff going on, man. Concert Crew Podcast. It's been a while, man.
It has.
It's been a while. You've been on the podcast a couple times, but it's been a while, though.
Still been a minute. It's been years.
What you doing, man?
It's been great to get you on topic episodes. though.
Yeah, man.
I'm being real.
What you got going on, though? It's great talking hip hop
Yo.
with you, but what you doing, though, man? What you got right here, man?
We got survival pack right here. This is my process, my procedure, however you want to label it, name it. But this is how I come up with all my content when it comes to writing and mastering bars and getting my lyrics together. It's just an underestimation of songwriting, and that's really what it is. It's songwriting. If I wanted to really sit here and be inspired right now, pop out, boom, boom, bam, and just feel the energy in this room. What I say right now is gonna be different than if I go somewhere else down the street, whatever. It's not the same thing, but just the element of songwriting for survival pack rap.
You got it on deck. You ready to go whenever it need be.
Whenever necessary.
Pull out the survival
Yep.
pack. You ready to go.
There it is. Yep. And More Love is out now. Did I use this
Yeah.
to help launch my channel or my process of just recording and writing music? But yeah, More Love is the album that I just dropped back September 22nd, out now.
and that was after you was putting out songs like every month. Like you was rocking.
I was going every week for like.
Wow, yeah, my man cooking. I said you on Pat potential.
going there
Man, you know,
every
only
week.
Pat Poops dropped like that, boy.
Thank you.
Like that was hard. And it was
I got a
good.
question for you.
It was
Go
good.
check
T-Hart.
them out. Go check that out on all digital platforms.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
everywhere
absolutely.
you need it.
I got a
Yeah,
question
T-Hart.
for you, being as though you're such a writer and such an artist, and due to the way that the game is right now, and the different climates, the times, and us changing with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? True. And this hip hop has been kind of trash lately. Let's be totally honest.
Oversaturated.
You know what I'm saying? Especially with albums. Would you, at some point in your career of you being a writer, a first-class writer, ever let somebody write for you?
For what?
No.
All right, okay.
Why? Why would he do that?
I was just asking.
No,
Like,
yeah,
Ray doesn't understand.
Drake did it.
Nah.
So I was just asking.
So petty.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I just asked the question. I know you wouldn't. I just wanted to ask
Yeah,
for the kids.
Yo, man, go support T-Hawk. Go check out his music, man. Go download the projects,
Eminem did it
man.
too.
Wait. So you put him and Black in the same room, huh? like him and Black in the same room is a lot, cause
Stop.
whoo, child.
G-Dash, man. As always, hey man, give him your follow, man. Tell him to follow you.
Survivalpackrap.com, and then other than that is Ty Harper, THARP99 on your socials. THARP99, yeah.
All right, G-Dash, you always out here moving, man. What you got?
Talk to him.
Listen, G-Jones at G-Jones. Just spell out the dash. I do a show called Hats Off. My man right here. Listen,
Check out my episode.
You gotta check out his episode. It's
dope.
It's available.
It was
dope.
It's fire. We get into how this whole thing started. So it's amazing.
Dope episode. Go check that out.
Yes, every Thursdays on it drop on Instagram. His about to be up on YouTube though now too. So just look up G-Jones, spell out the dash, and it's your boy. You heard?
Yeah. All right, man. Yo, appreciate y'all, brothers. Happy 25th anniversary, DMX. Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, man. In my opinion, it's a classic. If you haven't heard this album, go check it out, man. And you might learn something. You might appreciate X's music even more, man. But we Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure to go follow us at Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure to go download, subscribe. We on all digital platforms. Make sure to go to our YouTube page, man. Definitely, man. Keep on running those views up. Subscribe. As always, man, long live our brother Taz, man. We're going to continue to March 4th, brother, man. We love you. We're going to hold you down, as always,
Mr.
man.
March 4th.
Yeah. Mr. March 4th, man. Yeah. Concert Crew Podcast, we here. We ain't going nowhere. Nope. Yo, Pito, hit us with the fader. We out.
Absolutely, baby.